broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. As is often the case, on a Tuesday morning, we'll be joined by the coach, Dave Pimper. We're going to talk about a couple of things today, a couple of ways that you can kind of grow your business, and there are certainly some synergies between them. We're going to talk a little bit about Social Security claiming, Social Security seminars, and we're also going to talk a little bit about radio. So if you're looking for some opportunity to really take a kind of a leap forward in your business in 2019 as we close out, or as you get started in 2020, I think you're going to find this a very useful and valuable webinar. Again, my name is Steve Murray, Executive Vice President here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. My main responsibility is to make sure we've got the right products, services, training, and incentives you want to look at IAMS as a partner in your business. And of course, today we're going to talk mostly on the training aspect of it, but I do want to give you a couple of ideas on some things that we do in terms of incentive for you as well, and some things that we do to help you grow your business. So a couple of things, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with this. I'm looking at our scroll of folks that have joined us, and I know many of you are already familiar with our programs, but for those of you that aren't, these are a couple of very simple programs that we have had in place here at IAMS for a number of years that have really grown to be quite large and I think lucrative for a number of our producers. Very simple programs. The RPM program is when you refer somebody. You can see before you, we just quick $50. Thank you for the referral if he gets appointed. If they don't get appointed, we don't do anything for you there. So a lot of times it helps to make that initial introductory phone call, though by no means required. We're able to recruit a lot of folks because we get a lot of great referrals. So thank you for that. But the real money that happens is after they get recruited or appointed with us and they begin doing business. You can see some of the numbers there. But basically what we do is we pay you a bonus. That doesn't come out of their pocket at all. That comes out of our marketing, sales, and advertising budgets. It does not come out of anything that they would normally receive. They're going to continue to get all the benefits of being part of the IAMS team just like you do, including all the incentives available to them, including, for instance, the marketing reimbursement we talked about below. That's available to them. Everything that we do, they get. So we appreciate your referrals. Thank you very much for those. As I look, I know many of you have been kind enough to send some of those our way, and we certainly appreciate them. Marketing reimbursement's a great program as well. But a lot of folks, when they join IAMS, they don't necessarily unaware of this. They don't get informed about it properly by their sales director. So I always like to run through this. It's a very simple program. Whatever business that you do with IAMS generates reimbursement that goes in the marketing reimbursement account. You send in receipts, and we match your spend dollar for dollar. Very simple program, but can basically double your marketing budget. It's all about marketing. We've got great products. We've got the marketplace is right for it. We got many people interested in what we do, the products that we offer. Just about getting your name out there and establishing your kind of planting your flag in your area so that people know what you do and how you do it. And so we want to help with the marketing part of the business for sure. This is another way you can kind of put your marketing on some jet fuel and new producer builders. For those of you that are with us today that are just making the decision as to whether they want to go with IAMS, I would ask you to pay special attention to these. These are 3 levels of points, and they're, for instance, dollar for dollar for annuity business. We give you about 11 points per dollar of target premium, about 1.5 points per dollar of single premium, and MedSup. Everything that you do with us gathers you points toward these various levels. When you reach the level that you want to claim at, you just let us know, and you can choose from a lot of different things. We've tried to build them to be things that help you grow your business, and that's not always the case for a lot of folks. They just say, "Hey, I want to go to the Ritz-Carlton." Well, so we make that available as well. I want to get an iPad. We make that available as well. A lot of different things you do. I like the places where we add your marketing reimbursement account or get you in the seminar business and things like that. But these are certainly things that you choose from and ways to grow your business that you can certainly take advantage of. But if you want to go on a trip with your guests to the local Ritz-Carlton, that's included as well. And that Ritz-Carlton travel package, by the way, I get a lot of questions on, includes airfare and the stay as well. So we actually throw in a little bit of spending money for you. Back office support, I'm not going to dwell on this. Many of you are regularly with us and doing business with us. You know that this is kind of a strong point of the team here at IAMS. We've got great back office support, Barry, from case design all the way through the application process and what we call submission and commission. We are as good, if not better, than anybody out there at that part of the business. It's really kind of where we've hung our hat for years and years. And our guys and gals that do that say, we can save them a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of frustration with that. And that's the goal there. So if you haven't taken advantage of that already to see how we do there, I would encourage you to do so. We got a great creative team. I wanted you to think of them. Just think of them as your own personal advertising team. They're going to do things for you that are very already kind of vetted through the industry standards and some things that we know already work. So whether you're looking for flyers, or whether you're looking for a website, or whether you're looking for Facebook advertising, or whether you're looking to get your logo set up and get all that, I mean, they're very good at that, and they're going to do that. We pretty much do everything that we can at cost, and obviously you can use your marketing reimbursement and things like that as well. And I think you'd be pleased with the results. And I only say that because I get great feedback from our producers. Hey, I really love the way that they did that, and great people to work with. So think of our creative team as your own personal advertising team that really their goal is to help you grow your business. And that's good for you, good for us, good for everybody. And we're going to do it as inexpensively or free wherever we can. We like to do as much pro bono work as we can there. IAMS website, again, a lot of sales tools. We've just introduced the eApp solution Firelight on there as well. You've got the IAMS resource library. You've got the IAMS search engines. You can go in and request information or put in some basic client information and get back, hey, who's the best here and who's the best there, whether it's annuities or life insurance or what have you. We've got some really great search tools on there that you can take advantage of. So if you haven't looked at the website, call your sales director up and say, hey, walk me through and tell me, my business, tell me what I need to look at on your website, and they'll be glad to do that. It's a great tool. Retirement Analyzer, if you don't take advantage of a program like this, and I think Retirement Analyzer, the reason that we've chosen it, we pay the monthly fee for it, is because we think it's the best of them. But there are a lot of programs out there that can help you when you're sitting down with a client and say, okay, here's where I am today, here's where I want to be tomorrow. What does that look like? And this one includes things like, it's all about income, right? In the end, your client doesn't really, what they have in assets for retirement doesn't really matter. It's what can they create in income, and what can be guaranteed income, and what can they count on here, and what do they have to do to reach those levels, and what about long-term care? And so all that stuff gets taken into account in the Retirement Analyzer. It is comprehensive, and it can be as beneficial and as detailed as you want it to be going in. So what I would ask you to do is, you can see from the screen there some of the things you can help your client figure out. And what I'm going to tell you it's going to do is going to help you look very credible to your client. It's going to help them understand their in a very graphic, you can see kind of some of the graphics that they use in a very graphic format of where they are long, where they're short, maybe where they're misaligned in terms of risk and up against their risk profile. Are they over risked or under risked? It helps them incorporate their Social Security income. So if you want to take advantage, I have some agents that will not. I mean, I looked at some of the programs. There are a lot of them out there. I was thinking about changing. I've got 4 or 5 guys you cannot change. I mean, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and you get used to something, of course, that makes a big difference. But it's all online, on the cloud, so you very secure. And right now, we're going to take care of the cost of that. So if you're just joining us, you want to try it out, give Marcus Soller a call. It's Soller, one of our sales directors. He's kind of our internal promoter and expert on that. He will get you a login so you can try it out. And if you're doing business with us, we pay your monthly fee for that. We take care of the cost for that. And it's because it works. It is going to get you more business and larger cases with current clients, and get you in front of more people. So look at that Retirement Analyzer. If you have any interest in that, I'll give Marcus a call and say, hey, let me try that. Do one on yourself and see how it comes out. IAMS Wealth Management. So I'm going to buzz through this. I am going to put up a poll, and what I want you all to let me know is if you have interest in learning more about IAMS Wealth Management, I just want you to check yes on this. If you don't have interest, and I want you to check no. I'm going to tell you the things that might be of interest to you about IAMS Wealth Management. So if you're not currently an RIA or an IAR, and you're thinking that you want to be able to handle other than fixed type products, you want to look into. Most guys are amazed by the products that they can offer, and the investment opportunities and options that they can offer their clients with a registered investment advisor designation. Most guys are also surprised to find out that, if you hold some designations within the insurance world, that you don't even have to test for the RIA. CFPs, for instance, in some states, CLU, CHFC sometimes I think will also immediately qualify you for that. So if you're thinking that that's something that you want to incorporate in your business, which I'm going to tell you one reason why you should is it will open up the door for a lot more sales for you across the board. Every one of our guys that came from the insurance side and expanded their business to add managed assets has been surprised by how that's exploded their business just in general. So if you're considering that, we've got the guys have helped a lot of folks through that process, through the testing process, and so they can help you with that. So they'll get you signed up, get you your books, get you your classes, help you through the process, and even on a fairly conservative study schedule, within 2 or 3 months, we can have you with Series 65 and help you through that. And so if that's of interest to you, let me know. If you currently have an RIA and you're not happy with, you don't think your fees are too high or your payouts are too low, then we've got a lot of great feedback that our fees are very reasonable under most, and that our payouts are higher than most. And the reason that payouts seem to be in general higher than most is because we have a payout that around 1%, or actually just a little bit higher than that, but we don't then run it through a grid. So you don't get 60% of 1% or 70% of 1%. You get 1%. So that's kind of a nice feature. So you got higher payouts and lower costs. So that's a beautiful thing. I think from my standpoint, if I'm out in the field and I'm thinking about that, I think the most important thing that about IAMS Wealth that maybe sets them apart, because they operate IAMS Wealth much like we operate IAMS. So they're a high touch, high service organization. They help you through all the processes. I think that's invaluable. Can make your life a lot easier. It's just nice to be able to call somebody and say, hey, especially if you're new to it, what's going on here? What do I have to do? Or help me with this. And they're really good about that. So those are the reasons that I think you might want to consider IAMS Wealth. And no doubt that for most of you or many of you out there, you've considered it and kind of set it aside, or you've considered it, already got it, happy with your current RIA. If that's the case, great. If it's not and you want to chat with them, just put yes on there. And I see most of you already have. A couple of you haven't answered yes or no. But in the interest of moving along, I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. If for some reason you weren't able to vote, what I want you to do is just give us a call and say, hey, I am interested in talking to the folks over at IAMS Wealth. If you're not, then that's okay. Just don't make a call at all. I'm going to close that poll out. Hopefully I did it. Okay, here we go. So we are done with academies for 2019. As you all know, we're in the Midwest, and every once in a while we'll do one offsite, but generally we end up, here in whether it's Des Moines or Iowa or Omaha, with our academies, just because our home office is in Omaha, and a lot of the companies we do business with, their home office is in Des Moines. So that we tend to do those during the warmer months of the year, at least the months of the year where there's not likely to be weather impacts. So we're pretty much done for 2019. Now, we might have one in 2020 early, and if we do that, we'll go to someplace south. Last year we went to Dallas and trying to find a hub. But if what you see there is of interest to you and you haven't been to an academy recently, by recent I mean the last couple of years, then there may be a reason for you to consider 2020. So if you check yes on this poll, which I'm getting ready to put up, we're going to send you an agenda. We're going to send you a registration form. And if you look at the agenda and say, okay, this is stuff I can use, then you look at the registration form, complete it, send it in, and then we will call you as the Academy's opportunities arise in 2020. Now, whether we'll have one in February down in Dallas, I'm not sure, but our first one, if not, then will probably be sometime in Marchish, and then we'll have a couple, 3 more beyond that during the course of the year that you would be eligible to come into. We do take care of your expenses. We're going to take care of your travel. We're going to take care of your hotel. We're going to take care of your meals while you're there. We'll have 4 top producers that you will have opportunity to learn and gain some knowledge from along the way. And then you can see some of the other things that we talk about there. So, we try and get into a little bit of product. We don't want to certainly make that the centerpiece. That's more like number 5 on the list. So we talk a lot about seminars, radio, Social Security claiming. We talk a lot about different product fits that you can grow your business using, and kind of the sales processes for those. So we go over a pretty broad sales and marketing agenda. things that what we know of that some of our better agencies and agents have done over the years, some things that everyone should probably be doing, some tools that we put in your hands that are more sales and marketing driven. Then we spend probably about 20% of the time talking about various products and how they could fit in your business. So it's more about sharing ideas to help you grow your business than it is sharing ideas about, product technicalities, but pretty good stuff. And if you have interest in being included, I launched that. I did. Hit yes or no on that if you would. I appreciate that. We've got, again, a number of you that have not yet voted. I'm guessing maybe we've got a technical issue there. If we do, my apologies for that. Simply call us here at the office at 800-255-5055 and tell one of the sales directors to send you out an agenda. The agenda changes some, but it won't change a lot from academy to academy, and we'd love to have you join us. So I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. Keep moving along here. So I want to make sure that you're all aware of this. We've been in qualification on this since July 1, runs through the end of June 2020. We're going to go down to this beautiful property, Montage property in Cabo, brand new. You can see it kind of sits in, if you've ever been to Cabo, you know the beach can be a little rough. Well, it's not there. It's a beautiful, beautiful, nice little cove where everybody comes to scuba dive around the area because it's just beautiful right there. And the property itself is very, very nice. Probably one of the nicer properties most of us will ever get to visit. Very customer focused and all new and shiny. So we'd love to have you join us. And the only way you can qualify that is to write your Athene business through IAMS. It's a co-sponsored trip with us and Athene. And so we're going to bring a pretty good batch of Athene producers through IAMS down there. So if you're thinking about doing business with Athene, give us a call. If you're already doing business with Athene, maybe not happy with what you're doing, give us a call. If you're already doing your Athene business through us, get her cranked up because you're going to want to go to the Montage. We'd love to have you join us down there. Top Producers Escape, we are going to make the official announcement of that probably in the next day or two of the location. Qualification has been ongoing, and it will be ongoing through 2020, and we're going to go out in early 2021. We're going to go to a beautiful all-inclusive resort on the coast of Mexico, actually in Puerto Vallarta, a little bit different part of Mexico than what we've been to in the past, certainly different than Cabo, but a very nice part of Cabo, and one that has all, not Cabo, of Mexico. It has all the things that we love about Mexico without some of the trouble that we hear about in Mexico. So looking forward to that. And then we're going to add a little special tag trip onto that, kind of an elite producers level that we'll be announcing as well. That will also be along that same coastline, but not an all-inclusive property, but a property that's maybe just a step up in terms of luxury. So we'd love to have you join us at those. Qualification is ongoing. In fact, right now there's a lot of double credits being allowed in the last 2 months of 2019 here. You're getting double credits for North America and double credits for Equitrust. And by the way, what I did forget to mention about the Montage is you're also getting double credits for Montage qualification for your Athene business in the last 2 months of the year. So for those of you that are out there rocking the Athene business, you're getting double credits right now. So there's a lot of great reasons to be doing business in November and December with IAMS. And remember that qualification for that Montage trip also counts towards the trip to Puerto Vallarta to the Secrets. It's the Secrets property, which is very luxurious, all-inclusives in Puerto Vallarta. So we'd love to have you join us down there and Montage at the same time because your credits, any business that you do with Athene is going to count also for the great trip that we're going to go down to Puerto Vallarta. So take advantage of that right now. Move on from that slide, and we're going to talk now about a couple ways to grow your business with the coach. We've got Dave Pimper aboard. Dave, can you say hello?
How's everybody doing?
Good. Good. Your volume level is great this morning, by the way.
Well, very good. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I'm still kicking.
I love that. I love that. Well, so I haven't taken much time to introduce you, Dave. We've been kind of tooling right along here, trying to get through the
Yep.
commercials, if you will. So give you a little background on Dave. We've been doing business now together for about 14, 15 years. Dave has been coaching with us for about 13 of those. We met at one of our top producers on the back of a ship headed to Alaska together, had our top producers escape, and he told me what he did and how he did it. And I said, hey, I bet we could help some of our guys there, and it's been a great relationship ever since. And he's done a number of seminars in conjunction with us. The Social Security claiming seminar has been a great success that he's done in conjunction with us. Introduced radio, so that's been very nice as well. So a lot of great benefits to Mr. Pimper being part of the IAMS team. We really appreciate it. A lot of experience. One of the main things is beyond being a great coach, everybody can't teach, and Dave has done a great job with that. But besides that, he's also a great doer. So he's an ongoing producer. So that's what I think our guys love most about it is that, it's not like Dave couldn't do it, so he's teaching it. It's Dave's currently doing it, being very successful at it, and teaching at the same time. So that's a great benefit to us. Probably upwards over 500 seminars now that he's done since the early '80s. Been doing radio for a number of years, and been in conjunction with IAMS Retirement Boss Radio for about coming up on just about a year now, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it is. You bet. Yep.
And having some great results there. So I'm going to turn it over to the coach right now. And Dave, while you're introducing yourself, I'm going to do some switching here on the presentation.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, my name is Dave Pimper. Been in the business since 1981. So I always joke in my seminars, which I'm having a seminar tonight actually on Social Security claiming, which we're going to talk about today. But I do maybe three-quarters of my business with the securities end, a lot of fee-based business, volatility control, and then I do about a quarter, maybe 20, 25% with fixed index annuities. What happens is that, and hopefully we'll have both of them, Steve, with the Social Security and then also with Retirement Boss Radio. But these are the two main ways that I and then the group of guys and gals who also use our seminar system, also use our Retirement Boss Radio being your own host system. And that's what I'm going to talk about today in conjunction with Together. So if there's any questions, certainly go in. We'd love for you to ask those questions, and we will kind of take it from there. And hopefully I'll be able to move those slides, Steve, if I can.
You will, Dave. I'm just tooling through it real quick, so give me a second to get back to the
that's
start.
fine. That's fine. Yeah, it just lets you know our business. We got a lot of folks on the line today, but our business is a pretty simple business. I mean, it basically is getting in front of enough people and then going in and writing the business. I mean, producing, closing. Probably the toughest part of those two is getting in front of people. So many people, advisors and agents have told me, hey, if you can just get me in front of folks, I will knock them down. And but getting in front of enough folks for a lot of people is not that easy to do. And in today's time and place, it's really kind of a pay to play. Our business is, I mean, you've got to invest in your business to be able to hopefully get in front of some folks. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is with Social Security, of just how important Social Security claiming is to almost everyone. 94% of all the folks in the United States have a Social Security benefit. 94%. Well, do 94% have stocks? 94% have bonds? 94% have annuities? 94%, I mean, 100% breathe air unless they're not living. But what happens is you got over 10,000 people that are turning 62, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way through for the next 15, 16 years. And so that's why, even though I am getting up in age a little bit, I'm in my mid-60s, I love what I do. We're into a boom time right now as far as it is for Social Security giving information. Believe it or not, only 12% of all registered reps, RIAs, IARs, agents know anything about Social Security. When I started, I called my 65-year-old CPA/lawyer. I called my banker. I called my estate planning lawyer. none of those folks knew really anything about Social Security claiming. They referred out to the Social Security Administration.
Dave,
So,
you should be
Steve,
good
are we
to
kind of up?
Yep, you're
Good to go now. I just want to make sure if I can get that first slide moving, and I will try it right now, then we will kind of start. Now, if you got any questions whatsoever, you can certainly go in and just type them on in, and I'll be more than happy to go in and to do that. Steve, I don't know if I have the controls yet or not on this. I also go through and I talk a little bit about the new tax reform, which isn't as new as it once has been. I mean, it's been around now since January 1 of 2018, but this last tax year was the first full tax year. And I do go in because that's the first tax reform that there has been since 1986. So I do talk a little bit about that with 4 slides. This is a kind of a wild piece of information from Mary Beth Franklin. If you read Investment News, you know about her. She talks a lot about Social Security and retirement planning. But nearly 80% of future retirees who work with a financial advisor said that they would switch advisors to maximize their Social Security benefit. If you really don't understand Social Security right now, you should. So, our Social Security workshops now, we're using Facebook marketing. We've got a great vendor, him and his crew. They do real niche marketing and niche advertising. He works with our radio, buying radio time also. In fact, I just went down and met with him and his crew in person for a couple, 3 days. They're down in South Carolina. They are, I think they're the 11th fastest growing firm in South Carolina right now. I saw the plaque that was on their front desk. But the cost of Facebook marketing is less than mailed invitations. They can certainly do have demographics that they can go in and look at. There's something called artificial intelligence and pixels, which is kind of beyond me, but I mean, the more they do, the better that they get. Like tonight, I'm expecting somewhere between 20 and 25 folks tonight, you know, in my workshop. And then I got another night that I'm expecting around 20 or so, you know, tomorrow night. But, you know, what's interesting is Facebook is really more flexible because you don't have to start it quite as early as you do with hard copy. Those are right from my, I have 54 slides, so we go through pretty darn fast to get done within an hour. But you can tell here I talk a little bit about the new tax reform legislation, a little bit about the standard deductions going way up. I talk about, and I'm not going to bore you with history, you know, started in 1935 in our FDR, first check cut in 1940 for Social Security. There was no taxation whatsoever until 1983. Then if you're above certain limits, then there is taxation. Love it. And back in the 30s when they started this, the average person only lived at the age of 62. You couldn't start your benefit till 65. What a great deal is that? But of course, that has changed now with taking early or waiting and letting it grow and taking later. How important is Social Security? 59% of retirees count on their Social Security benefit to be a major source of income. And that's why if you're income planning for folks and you're helping folks in retirement or near retirement and don't know Social Security, I'll tell you what, you should. And that's one of the benefits of doing a workshop, doing a seminar, is that I coach you up on Social Security. This came from Jana Heron. This is an actual slide that's on our, and all of those are in our workshop, taken from July 1st of this year. Doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement. How strong is this? How much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime. Because why? They took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. And then last bullet point, only 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. Yeah, so Social Security 101 made easy. You have 3 ages or dates that are important. It's the full retirement age, so if you're born between 43 and 1954, your full retirement age is 66, okay? If you're born 1960 or later, it's 67, and then it's a segmented part of that if you're born in between there. But if you retire early, if you take your Social Security earlier than full retirement age, it's reduced. If you wait later than full retirement age, it's increased. The earliest you can take it is 62, and the latest you can take it is 70, or you lose your benefit. That Social Security in its very easiest form to understand. It's a big benefit. If you have a $2,000 benefit and you got 2.8% cost of living, your benefit will grow for a total amount in 10 years to a little less than $1/3 million. In 20 years, 2/3 of a million. In 3 years, $1.1 million. It's a huge asset, income-producing asset. I have 5 Social Security myths. Number 1, Social Security is going broke. And I always say, did you hear when you were young? Hey, you better save, you better invest, because Social Security is never going to be there when you retire. Well, guess what? I'm there, and it's still, Social Security is going strong. In fact, so strong, there's $2.9 trillion. It hasn't ran a deficit since 1982, believe it or not, even though you hear all of it going bankrupt. It's not true. Now, time out. In my seminars, I stay positive. I do not get negative. I don't want the conspiracy theory. I mean, I stay as positive factually as I can on this. But there's a touch over $1 trillion of revenue, and there's about $1 trillion worth of expenses, a $3 billion surplus, which isn't much. And we'll probably run a deficit this year for the first time since '82. But that's quite a run. Okay? How do you shore it up? I talk about means testing in the beginning. Well, means testing is taking from the rich and giving to the poor. That's basically what it is. It's redistribution of money. And that's what they're thinking about doing. If you make quite a bit of money in retirement, they're thinking about taking part of your Social Security benefit and giving it to folks who haven't done as well. And that's a big push right now. There's a lot of steam behind this. But here's the interesting thing. People think rich. No, if you make $50,000 or over in retirement, they're talking about taking part of your Social Security away and giving it to someone who hasn't made as much. I'm not for that type of testing, but that's gaining steam. And I always say this in my workshop, I like the idea of increasing the full retirement age. It's either 66 to 67 right now. Why if we raise it to 70? Look at when it came out, 80 years ago it was 65. It's only raised for full retirement age. It's only raised 1 year for an early benefit and 2 years how much has life expectancy gone up since then? A ton. And then I joke about my son. He's 27, going to be 28 in January. Actually, December 31st. And I always say, hey, if I ask my son this weekend, hey, they're going to raise your full retirement age from 67 to 70, he would say, who cares, Dad? Get me another beer. No one that age cares. They don't think it's going to be around anyway. Full retirement age, remember I told you from 43 to 54, the full retirement age is 66. I was born in 55. I'm 64 right now. My full retirement age goes up 2 months, 66 2 months. Next year, if I was born in 56, 4 months, all the way up to 1960 or later, full retirement age is 67. If you take earlier than full retirement age, you get a reduction. Yeah. If your full retirement age is 66, you start at 62, you get deducted 25%. If your full retirement age is 67, and you start early, at 62, it's reduced 30%. So if you take it early, it's reduced. How about if you wait later? If you wait later, it's increased. It's increased 8% a year after full retirement age, guaranteed by the U.S. government. Where can you get that with your income, with your assets? You can't get a guarantee like that. If there's any questions, certainly type them on up. We're going to talk about three, one is with spousal benefits. And this is a simple spousal benefit. PIA stands for primary insurance amount. Dave's PIA is $2,400. Amy's PIA, that's the primary insurance amount, the amount you'd get at full retirement age. Dave's is $2,400. Amy's is $1,000. They both take. Dave takes his $2,400. The lower one can take all of theirs or half of their spouses, whichever is higher. What's higher, $2,400? Half of that's $1,200 or $1,000? $1,200. They get a top up of $200. That's how, and that's done automatically. You don't have to ask for it. Divorce spouse benefits, tons are lost with divorce spouse benefits. I call this the triple play. If the marriage lasted 10 years or longer, the spouse is, you are currently unmarried. Doesn't make a difference if the spouse is, but you are currently unmarried and your ex is at least 62. If those three things line up, you can use your ex just as if you're still married to him. Why is that important with Social Security? Because there is benefits. There are more options with married couples than with single couples. Also, you can do the same thing with divorces that you can with survivors. So let's talk a little bit about the survivor benefit, okay? Let's say Dave's benefit's $2,000 and Amy's is $1,200. They're both full retirement age for this matter of fact case. And they both, and say Dave dies. I die. Well, Amy can go in and drop her benefit and jump up to mine, or she can keep hers. Well, here it'd be better to jump up mine. It's an extra $800. $1,200 plus $800 is $2,000. Now, what happens if Amy doesn't ask? Amy doesn't get it. With spousal benefit, it's done automatically, but survivor benefits, you have to ask. Will the Social Security Administration give you that FedEx package that says it's very important? No. They, in fact, hope you don't. It leaves more money in the coffers. Okay? Spousal benefits and coordination, file and suspend has gone away, and I tell you what, there are a lot of agents, a lot of advisors who said all of the sizzle is gone. Just the facts remain, and they got out of the seminar business. I've given well over 500 public seminars, 80 of those with Social Security, maybe close to 90 now with Social Security. I'm giving one tonight. I'm giving one tomorrow night. And I'll get between 10 and 15 appointments from those. Knowing Social Security helps you be a better advisor. Does it make you more money? Not unless you're getting in front of people. So when people come to me and say, Dave, I just want you to coach me on Social Security, I'll pay you X amount. I just don't do that, because that alone is not going to bring more business into you. Getting in front of qualified prospects and talking to them will get you more money, okay? So file and suspend was phased out over a 6-month period down in 2015. But if you were born before January 2nd of 1954, then listen up, called restricted application. Now, I know this is complicated. I know it's going to be hard to understand. It is for the group that I'm talking to out there also. I mean, the advisors right now that are on the webinar with me. But let's say, for simple sake, that both Dave and Amy are full retirement age, and they're born before 1/2 of 1954. Dave's primary insurance amount is $2,400. Amy's Social Security benefit amount is $1,000. Amy wants money coming into the family, so she claims hers first. Dave wants to continue to let his grow and get the 8% after full retirement age per year. Pretty simple. But if Dave is old enough, born before January the 2nd of 1954, he can do something called a restricted application to a spousal benefit. He starts his benefit, stops it instantly. In the eyes of Social Security, he started it. Even though it continues to grow, kind of a loophole, continues to grow the 8%, he can go in and take half of Amy's. Half of 1,000 is 500. Half of 1,000 is 500. That $500 times 12, 6,000 a year, from 66 to 70 is $24,000 in this example, and that's free money. Because I was born in April of 1955, too late, I gave up about $23,000 of a restricted application that I could have done. Interesting, huh? Yeah. And then even to turn that wheel further, when Dave turns 70, he switches to his own benefit. Now he can't get the 500, but what can Amy do? Amy can jump up to his benefit because his is higher than hers. And it isn't to what his grew to, it's what his benefit would have been at full retirement age. That's what she can jump up to. So 1,000 jumps up to half of 2,400, 1,200. That $200 really is just a top up. So it nets out. He was making 500 extra. Now he's making now they're making 200 extra. Pretty cool. Yeah, called restricted application. And when it fits, it's like Cinderella's slipper. It fits great. Other reasons to claim early, you bet there is. How about you just need income now? How about you're not going to live very long? You got to break even to somewhere between 78 and 81 for the average single person. How about your health is just not in very good shape. How about you're in great shape, but your three brothers have all done lung cancer and you're a smoker? Yeah, you might want to take early. But being uninformed, and I was going to put down being ignorant, but that was too harsh. So I say being uninformed, that's the worst reason to take a Social Security benefit early. I call it the worst water cooler talk there is. Hey, I took it 62 and you should too. Hey, I waited to 70 and you should too. A benefit is truly unique of when you take it. Annual earnings test, got to be careful on that. If you make over 17,640 and next year it's like 18,260, if you make over that money, you pay one benefit back for every two that you take out. Another interesting twist is you do get it back in a bump up in your monthly pay, your lifetime monthly pay, once you turn 60, full retirement age. Pretty interesting. Social Security myth number 3, you're going to get the biggest family benefit by waiting to age claim 70. Actually, it's proven that taking it 67 for the family is probably the biggest benefit. So we have software that we have with this right now. We've got 3 months of free Social Security software. If you want to get it after that, it's somewhere between $25 and $30 a month, but you can test it out. You get the presentation. You get coaching from me of 3 coaching sessions on Social Security, kind of the Bible of Social Security to read. You can call me anytime and use me as a resource. Yeah, quite a benefit. And you get all of that for $2,500, and you're guaranteed 25 buying units at the 2 seminars, because there's 2 seminars off of every 2,500. I tell you what, for a guarantee like that, most places would be at least double, $5,000 or more to have a guarantee. And IAMS, we're offering it with this presentation for $2,500. There are do-overs. There's 3 of them. You can pay all your money back within 6 months, within 12 months. Do it one time. You can go in if you're over the age of full retirement age and you wish you would have done it earlier, some kind of benefit. You can go back within 6 months to when you're full retirement age. And then the third one is, once you start a benefit and you're under full retirement age, you can't stop it for any reason until you reach full retirement age. Then you can stop it. I call that a do-over also. Social Security is taxed through a provisional income. It's at the bottom of the screen, adjusted gross income, not counting no Social Security, plus half of your Social Security benefit and half of your muni bond interest. And those are the provisional income brackets. So if you're married filing jointly, if you make under $32,000, you don't pay taxes on your Social Security. And remember, if you're married and filing jointly, this year you get $24,400. $24,400, and that's the standard deduction. Isn't that something? So you basically can make $56,400 married, take the standard deduction, and you get under those provisional incomes. Now, again, you got to put in half of your Social Security benefits, so that would lower that. But still, you can make quite a bit of money when you're looking at that benefit for not being taxed. Any questions? We'll answer them here all at the end. Reducing taxation. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly here, but I love this. Just delay Social Security reduces the number of years benefits are subject to tax. I'm a big into the Roth conversion. We have 2 slides on Roth conversions. I think for a lot of people, taxes are lower right now. That'll sunset out in the year 2026, January 1 of 2026. It will sunset. So it might be a good time to take a Roth conversion, okay? Myth number 5, the Social Security Administration will give you the best advice on how to maximize your benefit. Wrong. They can't give advice. They can only go in and give what your highest benefit is right now. I took this from the POMS manual. I found it online, taking the claim for Social Security. Look at D. Provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. Who gives advice? We do. We do. And then I'll say to them, that's why so many people come in for an appointment, because we can give you a customized report to show you when to maximize your Social Security. It's not a standalone investment stream. It's the flexible of all the investment streams. Claiming at your right time, not the right time, your right time can be paramount. And don't forget on the break even about the survivor benefit. I call it pillars of income: working wages, pensions, income producing assets, RMDs, and then Social Security. How does Social Security complement those other four income pillars? Now, with the agents on the phone and the advisors on the phone today, number three, when I'm uncovering, really, number three is where we make our money. I go through, what are your wages? What are your pensions? What are your income producing assets? Your 401ks, your IRAs. I mean, I'm from a Social Security workshop today. I'm quoting on 708,000 this afternoon. It's my third appointment, and I think I have a very good likelihood that I will get that. That came from the Social Security, and this was on a 401k that she's had. She's been out of work for about 2.5 years now, and she just wants. She's afraid. She needs something guaranteed with part of it, which she doesn't with the 401k. I tell you what, it's really, and I walk through that transitioning from Social Security actually getting the money itself. Okay, so when to claim, we have the individual benefit, spousal benefit, survivors, divorce, your personal health. Those are things that is not, they're not going to be asked by the Social Security Administration. So we do it behind closed doors, because we want to find out, when is your best time to take, not someone else, but when is your best time. Remember I talked about the 2,500 all in on the Social Security workshops? I'm telling you what, if you haven't considered this, you need to. If you don't know Social Security, that's one of the great side effects of doing this, is that you learn Social Security, but there's no more meals. We don't have meals. There's no more mailings, and we say there's no more empty seats unless you put up too many. But yeah, our goal is to get 10 to 15 quality appointments for you from this, and I coach you through it. There's a lot of FMOs that have Social Security workshops, but there's not many FMOs that have a proprietary coach. I've coached with IAMS for 14 years now. I've been in the coaching business for almost 25 years. I'm still in full production also. I like to stay busy. But the ongoing support from me, I think, is extremely important. Mass Media Group, who I just went and saw, get a load of this. They've been in business since '67. They've purchased over $100 million in media. They do over 400 marketing programs per week. Is that wild? 12 million last year, and they rank, I said, the top 11. I guess they're the top 10 companies of fastest growing companies in South Carolina. They're the ones who are backing this. Let's do this too. I talk about procrastination. This is the consultation sheet, and then what happens is, and I have fun with this. When I close the appointment, I show you how to do this. I close with emotion. I'll say, does everybody know who Big George Foreman is? Oh, everybody raise their hand. You know what he's known for? He's known for that he was 45 years old when he won back the heavyweight championship of the world. Oldest heavyweight boxer ever. And he made a lot of money. But you know where he made the most money? And someone says the George Foreman Grill, and I'll say that's exactly right. So, folks, as we close tonight, unless you have your name on a grill, I say you need to mark yes on that consultation sheet and come in and see me. And everybody starts laughing and joking, but it's a great way. And then we pick up the actual sheets right there from the show. Now, I want to first say I'm not this skinny. I don't know why my head's so skinny. I wish it was. Become a radio show host. I've been in radio for 26 years now. And I've had this Retirement Boss Radio, Take Charge of Your Money, which is trademarked. I do a show on KFAB. It's a 50,000 watt station in Omaha. It's a Rush Limbaugh station on Sundays from 12 to 1. I mean, just like this last Sunday, I average about between 2 and 3 appointments a week. We got 4 this last week, which is pretty darn good. 4 appointments last week, and it's all set. And we actually have an online calendar that sets up the appointments. But I'm going to go through this pretty quick because, Steve, I need to scoot out of here. Then we'll see. Maybe I got to get out of here by about 2 or 3 till the hour. because I've got actually a Social Security appointment at 11:30 in Omaha, at my Omaha office. But why radio? Reaches tons of people. Tons, more than your smartphone, more than computers, more than everything. It's a fact, yeah. Median age is 61. Demographics are split between male and female, a touch more with male that listen. 93% of all adults who do listen. 75,000 income households are above the average over 12 hours of radio a week. Isn't that something? Solidifies you as an expert. Do I think it's better than seminars? No. I think that it's another way to go in and market your business, and it's less expensive than you think, which we'll talk about. Why are Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, Kim Commando, Dave Ramsey, why are they on AM radio? For the money. People are listening. Absolutely. We get content. There's coaching with Dave Pimper. I tell you what also happens is you can do it from your own office, your own home. You go on Amazon, we give you pick up the mic and the headphones, it's about 150, 60, 70 bucks. We supply the software, and it's done right from your computer. Wasn't that way 5 years ago. You had to spend $3,000-$4,000, or when I did a live show for 11 years, you had to go into the studio. Not now at all. What happens is that we have a production company. So here's the three parts of radio. You've got a person who goes in and buys the media for you, buys the radio time for you, and our vendor down in South Carolina, their firm is one of the top ones in the nation. I'll tell you right now, I was so lucky to go in and get aligned with him, and they go out and they shop the very, very best time. Plus, I get, I think, 15 or 20 promos a week on my show. Yeah, a week. But he's the one that sets it all up, okay? Then there is a production company. And the production company supply the show notes. I revise all those to make sure that hopefully they're compliant, the show notes are. You don't read the show notes like you do. I know there's one FMO where you read. I just tell you, I've listened to a lot of them. You can tell they're reading. We go in off the show notes, but they're bullet pointed. And they edit it. They mix it. Yeah. And then we have I coach you with radio, kind of what to say, what not to say, what are the hot points. And then we have a call center that takes all of our calls live, all of our calls right there. You don't have to be there. Of course, it's recorded, but they're live. I publish on iTunes also. I think it's $100 a month. I do get some play with people listening to that. I've had some clients that have jumped on there. You can tell here, radio show call center, we get this, right away. Like here, turning 59 soon, hasn't settled on someone yet, being an advisor. He has a 401k with $1 million. Also had questions about the Social Security. Yeah, his in-service non-hardship withdrawal, he'll be able to take money out at 59.5, which is coming up in early spring, and that's when I'll talk back with him. But those are kind of appointments that we're getting. If you go to www.retirementbossradio.com, you'll get a real good feel of the shows that we've done and a little bit of information about Retirement Boss Radio. The cost really doesn't cost any more than a dinner seminar. I would say it's between $2,500 and $4,500 a month, all in, all the cost. $2,500 to $4,500 is the average cost, all in. We've got a lot of locations available. This is a newer program that we've had, and again, I coach you through these programs. And the end result is, of course, we want to make money. We want to go in and get appointments. That's absolutely what we want to do. So what we need to do, Steve, if we could go and put up the questionnaire, if they'd like, and it isn't just would you like more information on Social Security seminar coaching, but on the information we talked about on Social Security, would you like more information on the seminars and the coaching? Would you like for Retirement Boss Radio in the coaching? So look at those as both of those. And if you'd like to, then mark yes. And then what we'll do, if you mark yes, take the call. We're going to call you in the morning to make sure that a good time for you and myself, maybe 25, 30 minutes. And not one of my employees, but I will be the one talking with you. And if we do business together, I'll be the one that's coaching you. Okay? Steve, I got time for one question, and you can answer any other ones. I got to scoot out of here pretty darn soon. So.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking this time. I know you got a lot of appointments coming up. So you better walk folks through the costs associated with your seminars, if you would. That seems, I got 4 questions on the seminar costs, and I know you've got the 2,500. So.
Right. I'll answer this one question, then I'm going to scoop it in. You can answer the other, Steve.
Yep.
You got $2,500 all in. You get the presentation. You get the coaching for Social Security claiming. You go in and you get 3 months of a free trial of Social Security software. You go in and you've got the ongoing support of myself. You've got a video of me giving the workshop itself. Actually, we're videotaping it again tonight to get a new updated version.
Yep.
Yeah. So we appreciate that, and everyone who takes the seminar coaching will. But you know what? Here's the whole thing. If your production's where you want it, don't mark yes. If you'd like your production to be higher, mark yes. I mean, my gosh, let's go talk about it. You know what? If it doesn't fit, I'm looking for people who want to work with us. They want to work with IAMS. They want to work with Dave Pimper to coach them through to get more appointments. My goal each and every month is to have at least one new appointment every single day from marketing. And I mark them both, Social Security seminars and Retirement Boss Radio. So mark yes. When one of my 3 administrators, when Lynn or Lori or Amy give you a call tomorrow morning, certainly take the call. Call back. If you don't want to meet, mark no. That's fine. I'm looking for people who want to increase their production. End of story. Steve, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna let you answer the other questions, and I want to thank everyone for being on the webinar today, and hopefully I can help somebody with their personal production.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you taking some time, and thank goodness there are no real technical questions because Dave is in charge of technical Social Security questions. Now, there are some questions, again, about cost. So radio, as Dave mentioned, the reason it varies is because of the cost of the time. So you're getting an hour a week, and that varies by, like here in Omaha, the biggest one is KFAB. Dave may have mentioned that. I think Dave pays his radio time itself probably runs him somewhere in about the $3,000 a month, and that's for 4 1-hour weekly sessions. He gets 2 to 3 appointments per radio show, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but that's about what it averages out to be. And those are actual appointments. So if that gives you an idea of the spend, and if Dave were here, he would tell you that those appointments that he gets from radio, generally speaking, higher net wealth than he gets from his seminars and things. So he's really happy with the radio results. So, okay, show notes. So the question here is, what do you talk about on the radio? So the great news here is, Dave, as you have probably heard, he does supply show notes. And those show notes, if your securities license already been vetted through Dave's broker-dealer, you'd still want to send them through yours, but it's complete enough that you would be able to get approval for those show notes each week through your broker-dealer. You shouldn't have any problem at all with that part of it. And those are supplied here. Now, basically, it's just kind of a general guide. And of course, you've got a sidekick, kind of an Ed McMahon, for those of you that remember Johnny Carson, or I can't remember the sidekicks of any of the newer, talk show hosts, but it's somebody that can kind of help you with they move you along through the radio show. And if you haven't heard it, you should go to the website, retirementbossradio.com, and listen to one. You'll be surprised at how professional it is, whether it's done by Dave or whether it's done by one of the other folks. The process is in place, the production is in place, and it really sounds very good. You'll get calls, and you'll have people that have some interest. Okay, so $2,500 for 25, it's buying units, by the way, not 25 attendees. So what if there are more attendees is the question I have here. So 2,500 is a guarantee. 25 buying units for 2,500 is the minimum guarantee. I haven't fallen below that yet, thank goodness. And what would happen if you did fall below that? Let's say that you ended up with 20 buying units over your 2 nights of seminars. Then you'd get back a $500 check or a credit if you wanted to just apply that towards your next seminar. Will it come up? Eventually it will. It has not yet. We've been doing it now for the Facebook seminars on this platform for about 5 months, and it hasn't come up yet. In fact, the thing that has come up, I had one of our guys call, and he called it in and he said, "Hey, got a problem." He had too many. It was overflowed. So we only had room for about 45 seats in his venue down in Wichita, and he was unhappy because he had about 64 people show up, and that is one thing. I mean, we know that there's a certain percentage that generally show up. Sometimes it's a little higher, and sometimes it's a little lower. So we've tried to control that a little bit better, because that's not the worst thing that can happen, but it's not the best thing either, is when you get overflow. So you can expect over 2 nights, generally speaking, to probably be sitting in front of about 35 to 40 buying units, and you're going to get probably 15 to 18 appointments, and depends on how you do your business. We can certainly help you increase your odds, but you're probably going to do 2 to 3 pieces of business, if not more than that. So you can do the math yourself based on what you offer, and average case size from those seminars tends to be relatively high. 100 to 300 seems to be kind of where we end up. And so, no doubt, you can expect it to be profitable. What some guys are concerned about with seminars is, being in front of crowds. If you're uncomfortable in front of crowds, but you still want to do seminars, there's no better one to do than Social Security claiming seminars. They really are very comfortable for people to do, because it really is kind of you've got all the information that you need. You've got the slides there, and you really it's kind of more of a teaching atmosphere than a showmanship atmosphere for sure. So. And you're going to end up at the end with a bunch of people that want to see you to learn more about Social Security. And then, of course, what we do know for sure is that you can help people with Social Security all you want. But if you don't know what their other sources of retirement income are and how they all interplay with Social Security, that you're not going to be doing the best job for them. And so it really is a way to meet folks on a very favorable basis. And as Dave mentioned at the outset, if you don't have Social Security knowledge, you're not helping your clients to the hilt. And so part of this is going to get you that Social Security knowledge and get you to where I would say you'll have a good 75 to 80% understanding of Social Security, and then a great resource in Dave and Dave's team for getting questions answered that maybe you don't know the answer right off, or helping you through the process. But before you're done with the training that is part of the Social Security claiming seminars, you're going to have good knowledge there. And of course, if you do both, if you're interested in doing radio as well, or radio as opposed to Social Security, that's a great there's a lot of people that are looking for that knowledge out there right now. So it's a great thing to have and to offer in the course of your radio. And you'll see that Dave does that. If you listen, you'll see that he regularly offers that understanding and knowledge of Social Security claiming during the course of his radio show. So a couple other questions. Costs. So I'm assuming that since we've talked about, Dave has gone through some of the costs of the Social Security seminars, and I've just gone through the costs of the radio program. Joe, if you have another question that I haven't answered about that already, what I want you to do is just give me a call here at the office. That's 800-255-5055. Hopefully we've answered that question for you as well. I've had a question about availability. I'm going to answer this in a general way because all of you may have this question. So radio is probably a fairly open map. We have about 12, 13 guys across the country, so that means that there's a whole lot of markets available. But yes, there's no doubt if we've got somebody in a market that we can't put another, the market probably is not going to hold 2 people. So for instance, if you're in Orlando, that's probably not going to work. But most markets will work, and then it's just a matter of finding the right radio station. And we've got Jared Wilkins has got tremendous background there, and he's got a lot of connections. He and his family have been doing the radio business for probably upwards of 70 years now, which I don't know when radio came about, but his dad's dad and his dad and he have all worked in that business across the country. So a tremendous amount of knowledge and connections in the radio world, and he can likely get us a great deal on a great station, and that's really a good part of the key. And the other part of that key is you. Availability of Social Security seminars is going to be a little bit more limited. We've got a lot of areas that are being taken up. Obviously, when you're getting in front of 25 people for that price on a regular basis, on a favorable basis, and usually you're getting actually in front of 35 to 45 people, you can see why that tends to fill up quicker, and having that Social Security knowledge is beneficial. So no doubt, if you have interest in that, I want you to call or if you already checked yes in the poll, great. If you haven't checked yes, but you want to find out more, simply call our office and we'll let you know if we've got somebody in your area, or if you maybe need to look at an area outside. For instance, we had a guy over in Oregon that even though we had somebody in the area that he had originally wanted, he had another area that worked just fine. In fact, he had like 82 people, 82 people, probably about 70 buying units over 2 days. So he was really happy. So we can probably work something out, maybe not necessarily right in your prime area, depending on where exactly you are. So looks like we've pretty well rounded up the questions. I would say this, and I know there are a lot of questions, and some of them are kind of answered in, across 2 or 3 questions, trying to get answered in one response. If I've missed, if there's something that we didn't get answered, let me close this poll out here. If there's something that didn't get answered, I hope that you'll give me a call or give any one of your sales directors a call. They'll likely put you through to me or put you in touch with Dave, and we'll get the question answered as quickly as we can. Number here, of course, is always 800-255-5055. I do see I missed a question earlier when we were talking about academies. So we don't yet have the dates for the academies set for 2020. We're going to do one in early spring. We're going to do one in late spring. We'll probably do one in late summer, and we usually do at least one in kind of early fallish, like September, early October, somewhere in that range. So that gives you an idea. But the main thing there is just to get if you have, have a look at the agenda, and then if you have interest, complete the registration, send it in, and then you just get a call and we'll just see if it works out. And if the first one doesn't work out because of a date conflict, then we'll call you on the second one or the third one or the fourth one. We'll get you in and get you to where you want to be as far as trained up. And again, we do take care of those expenses associated with that travel. So with that, I think we've pretty well hit upon everything. Thank you all for your attentiveness and for being so quick to vote on the polls. We do appreciate that, much appreciated. And if there's anything we can do here at IAMS, there's a lot of things that we do. If you've sat on some other webinars, maybe something piqued your interest and you just hadn't explored it yet, or something that we talked about here today piqued your interest, but you don't know for sure if there's something that maybe we haven't talked about that you want to, just give us a call. We're easy and open to going and talking about anything. And one question often comes up on our new producer bonuses. It often comes up, well, hey, I don't want to go to the Ritz, and I don't want to do seminars, but this is what I want to do. Can we do something with that? And the answer is yes. I mean, if there's something else that you want to do with your new producer bonus, there's pretty much all have a cash equivalent. We're glad to do that for you. So with that said, I'm going to finish up today. Whatever we can do to help you grow your business, we're open to it. We know that when you're successful, in the end, that's what our business is here at IAMS, is to help you grow your business. So let us help you be successful in any way that we can. Try us out on our 3-ring guarantee. When you call in here, you're going to get a live body answering the phone every time, as long as it's between about 7 a.m. Central and 6 p.m. Central. There's pretty much always a live body here, and we're going to answer that phone in 3 rings or less. So thank you for your attention today. Thank you for your business, for all you folks out there that already do business with us. And for those of you that haven't made a final decision, I hope you give us a shot here in IAMS. I hope to say 2, 3, 4 years from now that you'll say to me when we meet at a convention or one of our academies or something that it was one of the better decisions that you've ever made for your business. Thank you again, and thank you for joining us. And my name is Steve Murray. I look forward to chatting with you at any time. Thank you for great attendance today and attentiveness, and have a great finish to your sales week.